Oh,
Yeah, so it's still super bright
yeah,
outside. So
yeah.
we got the curtains down to really
Exactly.
to make
And we're
to make
live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Real Hospitality Live. This show has been a long time coming. I'm super excited to have my friend Matic Rupnik from Huvii on today. We have been trying to do the show and have been, I think, strategically putting it off because of the state of the world, because of the state of industry. When we were last ready to do the show, different provinces in Canada and the US had all just begun shutting down again for, I don't know if it's round 2 or 3 now. And we decided it was prudent to hold off. And in some cases it makes sense. And now that things are starting to reopen, I can't wait to have this conversation with my friend and just really introduce people to something really cool and innovative that can help your operation, whether you're a cafe or a hotel or a bar. We're even going to have an event that we're going to talk about during the show today. Without further ado, my friend Matic Rupnik.
Hey,
how you doing, buddy?
Thank you for having me on this. It's been a long time coming, like you said. I remember, I think the first schedule was something like in April or March. And then we just reschedule. So I'm super happy we finally got to the time to talk here.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Doug Radke for introducing us as well. Doug's a great guy and a great networker as well. You're in Slovenia of all places. That just shows that Real Hospitality Network is a global network in many different countries. It's what you said. It's what, 8 o'clock at night for you now there?
Yeah, it's 8 here.
It's so cool. I love that we have this global community and we're able to have conversations about hospitality industry, about opportunities to improve and to educate and learn about cool new stuff from around the world. I haven't even done the introduction for Huvii yet. Huvii is super cool. Now, when I think of back in the day when we would have really neat things to do, like trivia in bars and in lounges at hotels and stuff like that, as part of a social gathering thing that we would do. And we would have even trivia nights where, groups of friends would show up and it would be our night. It would be our thing to do. And you've taken this kind of idea and really made it way cooler than we ever did. Let's talk about Huvii and what you do.
Yeah. So let me just jump on what you just said. So, when people ask me, like, what's the whole meaning behind Huvii? Like, why is it built? Like, what's the idea? What's the big vision? Is it just, covering X amount of bars? Is it, X, Y, Z? Is it that amount of users or guests playing? And the answer is no, but yes at the same time. The vision for Huvii is we want to become a household brand that reforms the future of entertainment, and not just bars and restaurants, but all venues in general. We want that Saturday night out with the boys to become a Huvii night. And we're starting in Canada, US, and Europe, next the world. So yeah, again, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure. Let's dive into it.
So with Huvii, I mean, what kind of games are there? I mean, it's not like I say in the back in the day, because I'm old, with trivia, but you've got all kinds of different things that can be utilized. And I use the idea of cafes and hotel lounges and things like that as well. But let's talk about the games and how you utilize them and how operators can maximize keeping people longer and buying more booze and coffee and pie and all of those things.
Yeah. So the way we kind of went about creating these games is we first originated from the idea of, okay, you have pool, you have darts, you have all of those games that we're all used to. And we got trivia, which is, kind of an extension to that. Usually it has to be organized. It's, a lot of shenanigans around it. There's nothing that you can just come in a bar, start it off, and everyone's playing. But, when it comes to pool, you got a pool table or two, and, when they're full, everyone else just sits and doesn't do anything. So the idea was, how can we take all of that, put it on a one, flat screen TV, and have everyone play it? How can there be no limits to how many people can play at a time, or when they can play, and all of that stuff? And that's how we created Huvii, right? You play it on the TV with your phone as a controller. so anyone can play. That's the big, that's the big idea behind it. Is you have a smartphone, you can play. No app download needed. It's all in the browser. You don't even have to create an account. You just pick it up, scan a QR code, and start playing. It's that simple. And the games
so there's no additional equipment. Like you don't have to go up to the bartender or to the host and get like a unit where you have to take back. And I'm having nightmares about these things never working and being in the industry, actually having them in restaurants.
No, nothing like that, especially in the post-pandemic world. You're not going to be able to, sanitize every single device you have and everything like that. But your device is yours. There's no need to sanitize that. And all the bar owner has to have is one little dongle that you plug in behind the TV and it works. Connected to the Wi-Fi and it's there. You don't have to touch it. It uploads, it downloads new games as they come out. And you don't have to think about it. You just sit there and watch your guests entertain each other, entertain themselves. And, the games we've built have been built on essentially trial and error. There's no recipe behind how to create a video game for bars that makes sense because nobody actually has done it before, aside from trivia, which is pretty, straightforward.
Right.
Anything else is just, you're stepping in a new zone of what you're trying to create. And we've taken kind of like, sports themed games and tested them out. We put them into bars and saw how people reacted. And for example, when you talk about games and how can that affect the length of stay and the consumption and everything, we, for example, have games that kind of are really competitive and, require the user to, for example, tap really fast. And for example, when me and you are playing against each other and we're betting in a round of beer, there's 3 rounds of playing and tapping this, you get tired. What do you do when you get tired? You drink. It's pretty simple. And when you put that in perspective, let's say, 1 out of 10 people plays this when it comes, into a bar. And, they play the game, they get tired, they order a new pint of beer. That's 10% more beer consumption.
Sure.
Just with one game. It's super simple. And then what we're doing even more than that is we're not just, having the entertainment on the screen. We're trying to bring that experience into the bar. We're trying to interact with everyone in the bar while they're playing the games. And, for example, beer pong or things like that. That enable, the user to really step into that zone, but then have that interaction in real life in the community that's in the bar.
So I love the super competitive part of it. And when you're talking about tapping really fast, I instantly, my old Nintendo thumb injury comes back from when I was a teenager. So but you're not just talking with bars and restaurants. There's opportunities here with brands like vodka brands and beer brands, and that type of thing as well to get involved in what you're doing also, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's think about, for example, you have digital menus right now in quick serve restaurants, Burger King and things like that. For example, Burger King, when they introduced digital menus, within the 12 months that they put on the digital signage on top of the counters, their sales went up by 64%. On average, when you introduce a digital menu, it goes up by 38%. And if you take that and put it into a form of entertainment, and also you got those eyeballs on the TV because there's some form of content on there that people actually interact with. It's much better than just having those digital content things, just videos and flashy images. People have the power to actually create that content for themselves. The environment, they build it by themselves, and we just give them the tools. And what's more, when you have those eyeballs, you have the opportunity to market to those eyeballs. You have the opportunity to put in-game kind of advertising. For example, racing. You have billboards by the side of the roads, which are really good placement for brands. You can have Heineken or Smirnoff or whatever up there. And it's just a super neat way of putting things in there that makes sense for the brand and that makes sense for the players because it's not screaming in their face.
So how the hell did you come up with this idea? Like, was it you and your friends are gamers and you were talking about this at the bar, or how do you come to this idea? And I love hearing these types of stories where people have this epiphany and now it's their world.
So basically, I worked in digital signage before. And when you work in digital signage, and especially in bars and restaurants, and you're trying to monetize those TVs. And what we did is we did some overlay type of stuff. But when you do that, you have to rely on the content that's on TV. If there's a good match, sure, people are gonna, see your ads. If there's nothing on there, there's no guarantee your ads are gonna be successful. There's no guarantee someone's actually gonna watch that. And then the idea was how to bring, those eyeballs to the TVs, how to kind of reshape the attention of a guest in a bar. And if you let someone else control the content, you let someone else control the outcome of your ad placements, right?
Right.
But if you have the control of content and you put that power in the hands of users, things flip around. And essentially, we're a group of gamers, always have been. So it's such a privilege working on something that you've kind of been hoping your whole life will be doing. So that's how the idea was born. It was kind of like from the perspective of we're missing something, what could that be? And then just throwing darts at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Virtually, though, not literally anymore.
Yeah, basically virtually. But when we started this, it was March last year. So we were just super optimistic about the pandemic. we didn't see it hitting that hard, but it gave us time. Over the summer, we got time to test it out. Did a little beta test with a couple of bars in the region and in the States and so forth. Got some good analytics, got some good feedback. And then when the second wave hit, we kind of had time to take a step back, recoup, and really implement everything that we've learned so far. Mm-hmm. And that's how we actually came to much better ideas, to much better features. For example, tournaments and things like that. We enable bar owners to create tournaments, in their bar or between each other, or create that competitive kind of environment for the whole region. What we're doing here is we're not just bringing entertainment, we're building communities. We're building communities that scale from a local scale to a global scale. Our end goal is to essentially create kind of like a esports for the masses type of thing.
I think it's fun. It's so much fun. Now, you're looking for partners in North America. You're in Slovenia right now. Mm-hmm. I know you guys have offices in Chicago, and the expansion is as you said at the beginning of the show, Canada, the US, et cetera. And we are connecting you with people to do that also. But mm-hmm. what a great opportunity for investors as well. I know that you and I've had conversations and you're attracting investors right now into this awesome idea. We've had conversations together with investors, you and I. And if you're an investor or venture capitalist and you want to get on the next really cool thing now that everything's reopening, you need to talk to these guys at Huvii.
Yeah, it's been kind of a struggle before. I mean, we did raise capital. We're a venture funded company. But it's been a struggle raising capital for such a thing. When everything's closed, it's like, hey guys, give us money for something that's not really existent right now. So it's really just selling the vision of it. But now it's not just a vision anymore. It's hardcore reality, and we're bringing it.
Well, the timing's right too. I mean, because people are now okay. We've come out of the blip, and we are now again looking for new solutions and open to new ideas as well. Because I think a lot of people have really gotten smart about going, okay, all the things that didn't work, let's just get them out of here. And now we're looking for great ideas, great reasons for people to come in and stay, great ways to continue to upsell product, and new and innovative marketing ideas as well. I mean, the fact that you can do ads even throughout the gaming process, regardless of whether or not it's in a cafe or a hotel or a bar or whatever it is, there's fantastic opportunities here. So anybody who's in the venture capital biz, you need to call Matici, because this is really going to catch on. And everybody that we've been talking with in Canada who are involved in the bar industry and involved even in the booze industry are excited about this. So now's the opportunity to get involved in it. So much so that we're actually going to have an event, Real Hospitality Network event. Of course, Huvii are members. And it's going to be a gaming night that's being set up. Our producer, Robbie, and she's our CEO here at Real Hospitality Network. She is organizing it with Matici, and we're going to be inviting our friends on LinkedIn to come and be a part of this gaming night. I think we should have it as an ongoing thing if we can, but we're going to kick it off and have a lot of fun with it. I don't think we have the date settled for that yet, but it's coming soon. Mm-hmm. So watch for us on LinkedIn.
jump on and follow our business page on LinkedIn, and we'll be making an announcement there.
Robbie says, jump on and follow our business page.
We'll make the announcement there soon.
Fantastic. Fantastic. This has been a hoot. I'm so excited to tell everybody about this, and I'm so excited to have you on. Now, what are your next great steps? I mean, I know that you're working with these booze companies to come on and be a part of what you're doing. You're working with bars as well. We want to invite hotels to come and be a part of this. And if you're a cafe owner or if anywhere you've got a flat screen TV, then you want to gather people and keep them there longer. This is really the next step. So for you guys, what are the next steps? Are you going to be in North America yourself soon, or are you able to travel to come and do this?
Yeah, so we're kind of doing a couple of things right now that just have proven to be really the most kind of successful thing for us, and that makes the most sense. Because we've been, trial and error, trying out business models and everything for over a year now. It's especially hard in a pandemic, but even so, you can get feedback based on, imagine you're having this once the pandemic subsides, right? Yep. So what we've kind of figured out is that we're not just, obviously, if bars want to come along and if venues want to come along, that's perfect. But what we're looking for also is partners in the field of, having a marketing agency that connects the big brands and connects the bars, being that kind of middleman that enables a deployment of Huvii in a lot of bars in a short period of time and enables the brands to access that new form of marketing, a new channel. So we're definitely looking for partners in that field as well. We already have some conversations going in Europe. We have some conversations going on in Canada, but we're just open to all of the kind of just initiatives from this side. And on the other side, at the beginning, I said this is kind of the future of entertainment, and not just in bars, but in venues in general. We're also working directly with a go-kart company, and for example, Matic Rupnik, where we're bringing a non-driving experience to the whole kind of venue experience. So before you go, drive your go-kart, you can virtually take a ride to the track, get to know it, get to see what are the ideal lines to take, and we just think this can scale to so many different venues and so many different things. Imagine bowling and all of those different things.
Right.
Bringing that.
While we're on that topic, so there's go-kart games. There's and I think we were talking about Formula One company yesterday when we were doing the pre-show. So just let's recap. What are some of the types of games that are on there?
So the types of games we have are mostly they are all multiplayer games. That's the premise of it.
Right, of course,
you can come in and play alone if you want, but the premise of those games is to play them with your friends, compete against different tables and things like that. So we have games that are directly kind of copies of games that are really popular on fairs and things like that. Those simple things like throwing balls and hitting a little hole and your kind of horse moves and things like that. We have racing games, driving cars. We have tapping games, like I said, or different kind of mechanics where you really just rely completely on your rhetorical skills to beat your opponent. We have trivia. We have we have some new age type games that have been really popular with new generations in PC and mobile and console type. But we kind of brought it into a bar environment where you can just play on your phone, like pushing someone off the edge and getting points because of that, and having kind of a grand prix of it, having 3 or 4 tracks, and then the winner kind of gets all, and you can bet for a round of beer or whatever. There's so many different things that we have here. There's no single team to say that's what we have. There's sports based. There, trivia. It's all over the place, and all of those games are tested with real people in bars with analytics, and we're throwing them around, see what sticks, what doesn't. Adding another feature, does that improve the game or not? Things like that. So and also what we do is we have the capabilities to create custom games for brands, for example. If some brand wants to come in and have a custom, not just branded game, but just a custom game for them, it's completely theirs. We have the capabilities of doing that. We have in-house development, and we have out-house kind of studios doing games, and we're also opening up to third-party developers. For example, Candy Crush coming in and deploying this into Huvii. We have the capabilities to do that.
That's really cool. Now, getting it set up is pretty straightforward too. Like you could just go online and sign up to it, right, and have it sent out.
Yeah, it's a 40-day trial. If you're a bar, if it's a more of an enterprise kind of thing, obviously, different kind of rules apply to it. But there's basically no risk. It's zero risk guarantee. You come on, you sign up, you select how many sticks you want, how many dongles you want, basically how many TVs you want to be covered. Yeah. You order. You just pay for the shipping. It gets to your door, and you have it for 14 days free. If you like it, cool. Sign up to one of the packages. If you don't, send them back and we give you back, the shipping fees or whatever, and that's it. It's zero risk. So
it's as easy as plugging it in. Somebody who's a mechanical idiot like me could do it, right?
Yeah, it's just plugging it in. And you don't even need a power cord. It's all on the TV. You just plug it in the HDMI and a USB from the stick to the TV, and it works. You just then connect it to the Wi-Fi, and that's it, and you're done.
Amazing. And well, if you already have flat screens in your operation, you are pretty much hooked up to the Wi-Fi.
That's the thing, right? Because if you have those flat screens, they're not generating revenue for it. But this is
right.
This is a really cool thing for to extend the length of stay of users and guests, right? And just generate revenue while doing that.
Amazing. I am super excited. Been super excited about this. Been talking about it for months. And it's really cool that we're finally getting a chance to talk about this. Folks, if you are an operator and you've got flat screens in your operation, you got to do this. This is, it's as easy as playing a game on your phone. Yeah. But, and your guests are going to love the idea of being able to hop on, even though they're waiting for their meal. Everybody's got their phone out anyway. They might as well be interacting with each other at the same time.
It's not just about
interacting with Instagram.
Yeah, it's not just about being at the table. It's about when you play it on the big screen, other tables see it as well.
Right.
And you can create an environment where people just start coming in and start creating a new kind of community while doing that. And I just think that's super cool. I just think that's
an application for it too is for families who have kids. They half the time you're handing the kid your phone anyway. Here, play a game I've downloaded for you on my phone. You can have the kids involved and have them busy actually playing a game while you're trying to visit as parents as well.
Yeah, there's so many applications for it.
For sure.
It's made so simple yet so flexible.
Matici, it's been so awesome having you on, and it's been great for the build up to coming to get on this, and I'm super excited about the gaming night. Now I want to get on there and compete.
Yeah, I can't wait to for that. It's gonna be something that the world hasn't seen before, and I'm super excited for it.
Absolutely. Probably the world seeing Robbie kicking my ass at whatever game we play because she's super competitive that way. So she's laughing. Matici, thank you so much for being on. Thank you so much for introducing us to Huvii. And I think that anybody, again, like I said, if you're in the hospitality industry, whether it's hotels, cafes, wherever you've got a flat screen and you want people to gather and you want to make more money off of this, and also people who are wanting to advertise their products to customers who are sitting in restaurants with idle time and are paying attention to the TVs at the time, great opportunity. Thanks so much for being on the show, my friend. It's good to see you.
For having me.
And it's almost time for you, almost your bedtime in Slovenia.
No, it's time to grab a beer.
There you go. Perfect. Thanks for coming. And
thank you for having me, Jay.
If you're watching this on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, any of our live platforms that we're on right now, pop in, make a comment, say hello, introduce yourself. If you have questions, ask the questions. Matici and I are going to be back and forth on the different platforms, answering questions and referring back and forth over the next several days. If you are catching this not live, we will still be going in. We'll still get notifications. Our videos always go up and get parked onto YouTube onto our YouTube channel. So if you're checking us out on YouTube, go in there, like and subscribe, get involved in our community. We're a global community. As you can see, we're in 10 different countries. And what a fantastic opportunity to learn from innovators from around the world. Again, my guest today, Matic Rupnik from Huvii. Thanks, pal.
Hey, thanks, Jay. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you very soon.